Hello the internet, welcome back. By the time this video goes up or in a couple hours, there should be a new banner for Elegg. When Marciana drops, there will also be a rerun for Elegg. So we will have 4 banners at the same time. The Dorothy Serendipity, the new Cinderella, the new Miss Marcy, and also the old Elegg. So is it worth pulling for her, and how should you build her by today's standards and on this rerun if you decide to do so? A quick TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, obviously, is that this is a character for water weak content. It's a staple. If you are a water main, you need to grab a copy. You do not need her. She's not a mandatory character if you don't care about water weak content, but she's a fantastic buffer. She is just like most of the current B3 buffers we have when it comes to this category on T2. There is a lot of characters that are the same thing. You have your Summer Anise and your Christmas Maiden, both electric buffers that are seasonal characters, and then you have your water buffer, which is going to be Elegg, and even Ludmilla, even though Ludmilla is a neutral debuffer, and even Eve as a limited character as well, right? A lot of these B3 elemental buffers are limited. For some reason, Shift Up loves making those characters actually limited. So, you know, if you are a water main, I would recommend grabbing a copy. If you are not a water main, you can skip her because her usage is purely on water raids. For both Union Raid and even on Solo Raid, or sorry, on Solo Raid obviously, and even on Union Raid, you can actually run her if you're hitting multiple teams on water or on your main team, depending on investment and how many dupes you got. But for that, she's pretty good. Outside of water weak content, she's useless. And the reason she's useless outside of water weak content, it's because of her skills, and we're gonna talk about this. So before we go into recommendations, really simple kit. Her skill 1, it's her buffing skill if you wish. So every time everyone on the team hits 100 bullets to an enemy, you will be gaining a ghost. This ghost, basically, you know, you will capture one and you can have a maximum of 13 ghosts. You can capture one every 6 seconds, regardless of how many bullets you are shooting, right? So what do you do with this ghost? Well, with all to all water code allies, if you have 1 or more, you increase attack by 13%. And then if you have 4 or more, you will increase elemental advantage attack damage by 30%. You will have both of them when you have more than 4 ghosts. So you basically want to be getting this skill to level 10. This is the only skill that, you know, you can go instead of level 7 to level 10 because it's going to be a 16% instead of just being a 13%. So if you like her, if you're a water main, this skill goes to level 10. If you're a casual and you got her, this skill level 7 works more than enough. And this is her main buffing skill. Now, when she already has max stacks 13 ghosts, her skill 2 will be dealing quite a bit of extra damage thanks to this second line. Activates when a ghost is captured while at maximum ghost capacity, affect all enemies, dealing some damage, and then when entering or when using her burst skill, she affecting herself, increasing her own attack by 34%. Now, this is like Maiden. You do not want to be bursting with her. She's literally just like Maiden right here. You don't want to be bursting with her until the end of the match when you actually already have max stacks. In contrast to Maiden, however, you can actually do double burst with Elegg instead of just one because she does get her stacks a lot faster. Most people only do it once because, well, we forget. And also it depends on your team composition, how fast you can rotate, and if you can get enough ghosts or not by the end of the match for a second rotation on her, and you will also be losing some of her buffs while you accumulate stacks again, right? And then her burst, and this is why we don't usually burst with her consistently, is because if she does not have 13 ghosts, she only does 6 attacks, sequentially attack 6 times, right? And then she removes 6 ghosts. But if she has 13 ghosts, she will hit 13 times instead and decrease the stacks by 9. So it's a lot of a bigger nuke if you actually want to be doing this. It's usually not recommended to, you know, just burst with her consistently. This is a character that you can go 7-7-7, or you could be taking her to 10-7-7. If she is, again, you are a water main, you could be going for a 10-7-10 on her burst because you're going to be doing pretty good damage. But if you're not the main, again, guys, I don't think by today's standards it's really worth it. Even on the website, we have like a 10-7-4-7 because for most people, she's just a buffer and will be an off-burst character. That is how we treat her. When it comes to gear and cubes, really simple character too, because this is an elemental attack character, nothing else. Obviously, since this is a machine gun, you do benefit from getting max ammo capacity, and you do benefit from getting crit lines as fillers just for extra damage, because she is a DPS character. She's a sub DPS, even though she's a buffer as well. She's also a nice damage dealer. And it's a slow gear, 2.5 seconds, so the max ammo will benefit her heavily. And because it's a 2.5 second, to nobody's surprise, the best cube is gonna be with max ammo overload gear, Bastion, or with a reload speed buffers on the team. If not, just go with the old good resilience cube and you are good. Would you be running destruction on bosses with parts? Yes, unless you are, or sorry, for most people who are not going to be min-maxing, not really worth it, or depends on also the boss and the current raid we have, but it can work. Destruction can work on basically any character in the game, and usually tends to be an improvement if you can take advantage of it. Now, like I said earlier, that's for the build. She's a really simple character. She's a nice, staple water support unit. I will say that the worst part about this type of units is that Shift Up keeps making them limited for no reason. Well, for no reason. Obviously, it's more money, you know? That is the whole fucking reason. But it's kind of annoying that a lot of these elemental buffers are always limited for electric, for iron, for fire, even with the Christmas gear. Like, a lot of these characters have been becoming more and more seasonals are the way to pull in this game, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. That said, there is not much else to talk about her, because like I said, it's a unit that outside of water content, you will not see her at all. Even on Harvester, you barely see her, because Privacy has taken that spot as the best B3 buffer if you can only run one team, and you know, even more so when it's water, because Privacy will also deal pretty decent damage outside of buffing everyone on your team. So it's a nice character. You can grab a copy if you're a water main. If not, you can completely skip her and it's completely fine. That said, that's basically everything for this video. I will be making tomorrow, after we test Marciana, a priority video to talk about if it's, you know, worth or who are the characters you should be going for. But clearly the order at the moment is going to be Cinderella is the priority, then it's going to be Dorothy, and then it's going to be both 2% characters, depending on what element you are a main of. That's it, enough jumping, enough ranting, that's everything for this video, for the updated guide on Elegg. Shorter video than usual because, well, not much to yap about. We'll be live later pulling for Marciana and testing her. If you want to drop by, say hello. Links in the description. Good luck with your pull, the interrates, and I'll see you in the next one.